diverse interaction with different types of African American men. And so what we did with the project basically is to do that literally. So we went to, this is us in New Orleans, in San Francisco, in Chicago, and the process is like me with a laptop showing people questions, and this is Chris recording some of the questions. And so it was really this kind of really organic process. And we just came from Birmingham, Alabama, actually, where it's also open now. Since then, the exhibition has launched, and it's been 18 states, almost 30 venues. I hope this isn't a live stream, because this might be the most important one. But, you know, being in Corcoran, being right across the street from the White House is a pretty big deal. Are we being live streamed? All right. I can say that. And whoever that fly girl be, whoever Instagrammed me, I saw that. But this is my favorite question. Actually, I always say I don't have a favorite question. It's my favorite question because of the answer. This is a man who worked at the museum. His name is Tony Snow. He was just a maintenance person at the museum. And he was, not surprisingly, one of the few African-American men at the museum. And he, you know, graced us with this question.
You know, I wonder, black man, are you really ready for freedom? And if not, what would it take for you to want and need this freedom?
So when I first, and it was funny because he came, he had like 10 questions. He was like trying to look all smart and like, well, all right, you take this a lot more seriously than we are. And it was fascinating for us was that myself, Ite, and Chris just returned to the Birmingham Museum to get a talk, and Tony was there. And we hadn't gotten a chance to show him the answer to his question, you know. So he said, are you ready for freedom? And this, we through a lot of different places, we wound up in San Francisco County Jail, and I thought this was the appropriate place to show that question. And this was the answer we got.
Am I ready for freedom? And what would it take for me to want that freedom? First, I would have to stop and ask myself, and I would have to, that's a tough question. Because freedom to me is a mind state, you know, because you got some people that's not in jail, that's not free. You know, you got people that's in prison in dysfunctional relationships. You got people that's in prison with jobs, they work 9 to 5 that they don't like. Some people are in prison with alcohol and drug abuse. So I would have to really ask myself, what's in prison in me? And what's been in prison in me is my self-esteem, my lack of self-esteem. My lack of self-esteem has led me to commit crime, to hurt people, to manipulate people, right? Because if I love myself, there's no way I could walk outside this room and punch somebody if I'm esteemed within myself. So to be free to me would have to be, I would have to change, you know? So in order for me to grow, I would have to change, because if change is necessary for growth. In order for me to grow, I would have to adapt the mentality that something's got to change in me. I would have to change my mind state. I'd have to change the way I talk. I would have to change the people I interact with. That would be free.
And to me, that just blows me away. That was his immediate, 3 seconds later response to that question. He didn't have any time to think about it. He just let go. And Chris frequently says that people they know that people have questions of them that they're never willing to ask. And so it's almost right there at the surface. And the fact that this is things Ivan Montgomery could respond so thoughtfully to a question that he didn't know. That could have been like the 4th or 5th question that I showed him. But really that like within each of us, I feel like is a philosopher, is an expert on something, and we're not really often given the opportunity to be that. And I think that's one of the beauties of this project and this methodology.